For years, Dwayne "The Rock" was untouchable, a symbol of strength, resilience, and success. He was the man millions looked up to, the ultimate motivator, the people's champion. But in recent months, shocking allegations have surfaced, threatening to destroy everything he built. His fans are furious, his reputation is hanging by a thread, and the world is asking one question: what happened to The Rock? This isn't just another celebrity scandal. It's a story of betrayal, deception, and a secret that could bring down one of the biggest stars in history. And while the problem seems catastrophic, by the end of this story, a solution will emerge, but not before The Rock faces the fight of his life. For decades, Dwayne Johnson's rise seemed unstoppable. From his early days in WWE, where he electrified audiences with his charisma and dominance, to becoming one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, Johnson's success was nothing short of legendary. He was more than just a movie star, he was a global icon. With blockbuster hits like Fast and Furious and Jumanji, he earned hundreds of millions of dollars while inspiring millions of fans through his motivational posts and workout videos. He was the walking embodiment of hard work and authenticity. To his followers, The Rock wasn't just a celebrity, he was proof that with enough effort, anything was possible. But that perfect image would soon begin to crack, revealing a devastating problem hiding in plain sight. In September 2025, fans were stunned when Johnson appeared at a major film event looking drastically different. The man once known for his massive, shredded physique appeared shockingly smaller and less defined. For years, Johnson's body had been his brand. He sold books, clothing lines, supplements, and even movies based on his incredible appearance. His entire message was built on discipline and natural hard work. So when fans noticed this sudden change, the internet erupted with questions. Was he sick? Injured? Had he been hiding something all along? Fitness experts began to analyze the situation, pointing out that natural muscle loss doesn't happen this quickly. The whispers turned into accusations: performance-enhancing drugs, steroids, lies. For the first time, Johnson's reputation wasn't just being questioned, it was under full attack. The situation escalated when Joe Rogan, one of the most influential voices in media, publicly addressed the controversy. On his podcast, Rogan didn't hold back. "There's no way The Rock is natural. Zero chance," Rogan said firmly. He explained in detail how maintaining that level of muscle mass, especially at Johnson's age, was scientifically impossible without enhancement drugs. Rogan wasn't just speculating, he was accusing Johnson of lying directly to his fans for years while profiting from the illusion of being all natural. The clip went viral, shared across every social media platform. Millions of people who once defended Johnson now began to doubt him. The trust he had built over decades started crumbling in a matter of days. Fitness coach Greg Doucette released a viral video analyzing Johnson's shocking weight loss. He claimed the only explanation for such a dramatic transformation was that Johnson had been on heavy steroids for years and recently stopped. "You don't lose 50 or 60 pounds of muscle naturally," Doucette declared. "This isn't just a diet change, this is evidence." The video racked up millions of views, fueling even more outrage. For fans, this wasn't just about steroids. It was about trust. Many young people had followed Johnson's advice, pushing themselves to the limit, believing they could achieve his results naturally. If Doucette was right, then Johnson hadn't just been dishonest, he had betrayed the very people who looked up to him most. The accusations ignited a movement. Other influencers joined the conversation, creating a storm of criticism unlike anything Johnson had faced before. American Thor argued that the real harm wasn't just in the drug use, but in the illusion Johnson had sold to millions. Derek from More Plates More Dates went deeper, breaking down the likely drug combinations Johnson had used, pointing out how his sudden weight loss perfectly matched a typical steroid cycle crash. Former UFC fighter Chael Sonnen compared Johnson to Liver King, another influencer famously exposed for lying about steroid use. The message was clear: Johnson's carefully crafted image was falling apart, and people weren't going to stay silent about it. Under massive pressure, The Rock finally responded. He claimed that his physical transformation was for artistic reasons, saying he slimmed down to accurately portray Mark Kerr, an MMA fighter with a complicated past, in his upcoming film The Smashing Machine. Johnson insisted it had nothing to do with steroids, framing it as a professional choice for the sake of storytelling. But critics weren't convinced. Greg Doucette immediately fired back, accusing Johnson of lying again and calling the explanation insulting to anyone with basic knowledge of fitness, instead of solving the problem. Johnson's statement only made it worse. Fans saw it as yet another evasion, another attempt to maintain an illusion rather than confront the truth head-on. Just when the steroid controversy was reaching its peak, another disaster struck. In August 2023, wildfires devastated Maui, destroying countless homes and displacing thousands of families. Johnson, along with Oprah Winfrey, launched the Maui People's Fund, pledging $5 million each and asking the public to donate. At first, the move was praised, but as details emerged, public opinion turned sharply. Many questioned why two of the wealthiest people in the world were asking ordinary, struggling Americans for donations. The backlash was swift and brutal. Memes mocked the situation, while critics accused Johnson and Oprah of being out of touch and possibly even mismanaging the funds. This scandal wasn't just about lies or image, it involved real victims, real suffering, and accusations of exploitation. Now, Johnson wasn't just facing accusations about his body. He was being painted as a greedy, uncaring opportunist. With two scandals spiraling out of control, Johnson's once golden reputation hit rock bottom. Fans unfollowed him by the millions. Brands started quietly distancing themselves. Even Hollywood insiders began whispering about studios reconsidering projects involving him. The man who once inspired the world was now a symbol of hypocrisy and deceit. For Johnson, this was more than just bad press. It was an existential crisis. His entire empire built on trust, authenticity, and motivation was crumbling before his eyes. It seemed impossible for him to recover. But then, something unexpected happened. In the midst of chaos, Johnson finally made a bold decision. Instead of deflecting, he released a heartfelt, unfiltered video message. He admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs earlier in his career, explaining that at the time, he felt immense pressure to meet impossible standards in both wrestling and Hollywood. He took full responsibility, apologizing to his fans for misleading them and urging young athletes not to repeat his mistakes. As for the Maui Fund, Johnson provided full transparency, releasing detailed reports showing where every dollar had gone and personally pledging an additional $10 million to help rebuild homes for victims. This moment didn't erase the past, but it marked the beginning of redemption. For the first time, Johnson wasn't The Rock, the superhero. He was just Dwayne, human, flawed, and honest. The truth didn't destroy Johnson. In fact, it saved him. By facing his problems head-on, he began to rebuild the trust he had lost. Fans slowly returned, admiring his courage to admit mistakes and change course. The lesson was clear: no matter how powerful or famous someone may be, hiding the truth only makes the fall worse. By embracing honesty, Johnson transformed his greatest scandal into his greatest comeback. He may never fully regain the image of perfection he once had, but perhaps that's for the best. Because in the end, it wasn't The Rock who triumphed, it was Dwayne Johnson, the man willing to fight for redemption and show the world that even the strongest among us are still human.